Right, this is a new video. I've cancelled the other one because I can't be fucking bothered to fucking put them together and fuck about. So, yeah, just a couple of things out the last video. Yeah, the council tax with the cancer and stuff, right? Basically, I rung them up and I turned around and I said, look, what can I do? I'm going to fucking, I can just about put food on the table, fucking fuel in the van and pay the rent. I can't pay you that money. You should have done this. I said, well, hang about. I didn't know that was going to happen, did I? I walked into the fucking doctors. They've turned around and said, you've got to go to the hospital. I go to the hospital, and then they tell me I've got to have operations and other appointments. I don't know that's going to happen. And they won't pay my rent anyway. She's going, you should sign on so we get our money. I said, yeah, but they won't cover my rent. There's no point paying council tax on a property if I can't pay the rent, is there? And they just don't care. She didn't care. They don't care, and they've got no answers for anything other than threatening you. If you don't do, we're going to do that. And that's what she started. So I just put the phone down. I haven't paid it. But, yeah, that was what started getting me looking into a lot of fucking things. Just another one quickly while I'm on it is, yeah, the ivory trade. That is no different from, they started that. Human beings didn't have shipping, normal people didn't have shipping, and it's nonsense. They lie about the ivory trade. Like, people, it can only be rich people buying ornaments made out of ivory, and that was just bollocks. It's basically them massacring the animals on Earth and claiming it's poachers for a fucking ivory trade when it's bullshit. Yeah? Bullshit. They just massacre everything. They've massacred all the herds. All the fucking herds on Earth. There was massive herds of buffalo over in America. There's in Britain there should be massive herds of animals. There's land everywhere and no fucking animals. Yeah? Because they killed them all. They hunted them, murdered and got rid of so they could have farmland. And the farmers murder and shoot every fucking thing that would come on their land. Yeah? There should be massive herds of deer. If you go to Woburn, where they're not hunted, yeah, you will see herds of deer relaxed, not scared of fucking human beings. You go anywhere else and they are fucking petrified of fucking human beings because they get massacred. There are herds that roam around the fucking fields and they are petrified. Wild herds still of deer. Not a lot, but they are there. Because they learned how to survive just because they're clever. Ultimately, they're survivors. They're clever. Yeah? And they're quick. But there should be wild boar. There should be boar. There should be fucking horse. Loads of horse. Not what they call pony, but ponies are horse. They're just a different version of a horse. Forget pony. Yeah? Breeding programs. A lot of breeding programs created bigger versions of things. Yeah? Breeding programs. Artificial breeding programs. Yeah? But there should be massive herds everywhere. But they killed them all. And then they lie and claim it's poachers for a fucking ivory trade when it's not. It's just them massacring more animals to steal more land and build more fucking shit on it. And destroy everything. Because that's what they do. And, yeah. Right. I want to talk about in life, yeah? I didn't lie. I don't lie a lot, yeah? But as a kid, I lied about being ill all the time to get off fucking school, yeah? Up until I worked out that basically one day I lied about having a headache and they said I had migraines. So I just used it for it. Oh, I've got a migraine now. Because I looked into what a migraine was. And then basically I just said, oh, I've got migraine. And then migraines go. So then I'd just go out. So I'd just say, Mum, I've got a migraine. I can't go to school. I've got a condition, migraines. Yeah. So then I'd just say, oh, well, it's gone now. She'd say, well, I said, well, look, it ain't my fault. I've got migraines. Anyway, right? Before that, I would lie about fucking everything to get days off fucking school. yeah? And I always got drugs from the doctor, always. The doctor always gives you drugs, yeah? Just think back to when you were a kid and in your life when you have lied, yeah? Lied and got drugs off the doctor, yeah? Right. So if you can lie to the doctor and tell them you've got a condition and they can't tell whether you have or you haven't, it means they don't know nothing about nothing. And they just prescribe you drugs. They don't worry about nothing. A doctor has no fucking comebacks. So they just give drugs to people. Now, doctors' surgeries are privately owned. Yeah, most are privately owned, I think. I haven't properly looked into it, but I know there are privately owned doctors' surgeries that are NHS funded. Yeah? So that means that it's someone's business that gets paid loads of money by the NHS. And they are run by the drugs companies and owned by the drugs companies. And they prescribe and give people whatever they're told to. They don't care about nothing. Yeah? So, what they do, yeah? Now, what they've done is the benefit system. What they did with the benefit system. Now, they've made out that they fucking got loads of people off of benefits and back into work, and that is bullshit. What they've done is they've taken people from job seekers onto fucking sickness. Because all the professional dull fucking ponces, yeah, that fucking scam everything and just get everything for free and have always got everything for fucking free, now they are all mentally ill. And what they do is they get drugs that mash them up. No different from drugs. Yeah? From drugs. Right? Much worse than that. Much worse than that. Now, that ugly little fucker Deck, yeah, O'Deary, right? He's an alcoholic, right? Now, he's around and the job centre was hassling him about going to work. He's an alcoholic, proper alcoholic, yeah? So basically, if he don't drink, he gets fucking hives come up all over his fucking body because he needs drink, yeah? He'll just walk into a shop. If he's got no money and he's desperate, he will just walk into a shop, pick a load of beer up and just run out. He don't care because he needs drink every fucking day of his fucking life. Yeah, so he can't go to work because whatever fucking job he gets, he's just going to get pissed and not go to fucking work and fuck it up within days. Yeah, so it's pointless. So I said to him, go to the fucking doctors and tell them you're a fucking alcoholic. They'll put you onto sickness and fucking whatever. Yeah, what he does is he goes to the fucking doctors and tells them he's a schizophrenic alcoholic because then he gets more money. So someone's told him that he'll get a load more money on PIP and fucking all this stuff. So what they've done is tell everyone that if you're mentally ill, you get loads more money. So they're paying people to become mentally ill. Anyway, he's gone there and he's told the doctor he's a fucking schizophrenic fucking alcoholic, right? And the doctor has given him that. He's an alcoholic, but he's just a fucking liar. Yeah? Anyway, the doctor has prescribed him some drugs. He's rung me up a couple of fucking days later, shouting down, fucking hell, he goes, stupid cunts, they have given me the fucking strongest fucking drugs ever. These are the fucking strongest tablets I've ever had in my life. They piss on fucking anything else. That's what he's telling me down the fucking phone. Down the phone. This is someone who's taken crack, heroin, he's taken every fucking drug there is. Yeah? And these drugs that the fucking doctor had given him because he said he was a paranoid schizophrenic alcoholic, yeah, were the most powerful psychotropic drug. Like fucking, he is tripping out and gone on one like he is off his nut. Now what they do, yeah, this is what the doctors do. This is how wacko they are. He's told you he's an addict. So what they do is prescribe addicts with big boxes of tablets. Now what an addict will do is eat those tablets until they're gone, because they're an addict. Yeah? That's why he's in the situation he was in. A couple of days later, he's fucking turned up at my fucking flat when I was in the YMCA, and basically he is weird and acting fucked up. Proper fucked up. He's turned round and he's more or less telling me that he's going to kill someone and top himself. I've turned round to him, I said, you need to give me them fucking pills then. You got to give me them fucking pills, mate. They are fucking you up. He's gone, yeah, because he's an addict. So he's at that moment in time, he ain't fucking going to give me them pills because he's fucking off his nut. So he's thinking, he's more or less telling me how fucked they were. He's telling me that he didn't know whether he was awake or asleep. He didn't know whether he was awake, asleep. He thought he was dreaming. He's having conversations with people in his room that ain't there. And what he ended up doing was throwing a fucking brick at his fucking next door neighbour or one of his neighbours and can't remember fucking doing it. So I said to him to take them fucking tablets back and tell the fucking doctor that. This is what the doctor turned round to him and said. Don't worry about that, that's normal. Now, with the Dolph situation and all these things, they have literally got tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of people onto fucking millions, probably, thinking about it. Out of a popular, and the amount of people that I know that take those fucking things, antidepressants and all these other fucking drugs, and I've seen them all in the fucking YMCA, how bad they all get fucked on them. This was different. These were, wherever they were mashing him up bad, and probably because he'll eat the fuckers. Now he's telling me that he was the same as Ease, but the more because he just keeps taking them, they are mashing him up until, you know, proper. Now, if he killed someone, basically what goes down on those records is he's a wacko that we tried to help, mental health patient that we've tried to help, and it didn't work. And they are untouchable. Yeah? Before he got those tablets, he weren't talking about killing people and topping himself. Now, he then gets them, and he gets tablets. He lies. He's been lying for years, getting sleeping tablets and other fucking tablets and selling them. Yeah? To someone else. And what you have in the world are fucking people, old people, yeah, in the everyday community that are addicted to fucking prescription drugs, no different from fucking drug addicts. But they, in their head, they think because it comes from a doctor that it's okay. And this all starts from fucking child. When, as a baby, they give you fucking magic fucking medicine that's banana and strawberry. So kids even lie just to get some medicine because medicine is very fucking nice. It's like sweets. All kids, I remember giving it to my boy, medicine. And they fucking love medicine. Now what that does, it impregnates into the head that medicine is good from baby. And then with the education system and everything else telling you about how good it is, medicine is great. Because it impregnates, I can't wait to get my medicine. Because from a baby, you've got to understand how that impregnates later on. Now, everyone lies and everybody gets drugs. And these are serious fucking drugs. Now, another thing that needs to happen is they've got prisons that they make loads of fucking money out of housing prisoners. They get more money than hostels when the cost isn't that. Because they put it into rents again, rents for buildings that they own, and steal money and give it to companies, pay themselves their own company that owns the private prisons and stuff. But they're still HM prisons, but they are owned under private companies that receive funding like a private company, where they get paid rents and other stuff just for housing when it's just a building and all you've got to do is feed them. They don't do a lot else. So when they would charge up like fucking up to fucking £400-500 a week for one fucking person in a prison or mental institute. So there is big money to be made out of, one, wackos doing people in, convincing everyone the world is mentally ill, and giving the drugs companies loads of fucking money and putting people in mental institutes and prisons where there's more money to be fucking made. Now, when I went into the YMCA, which is another one of these big ring of organisations, 3 or 4 people told me that I should go and say that I've got mental health problems because you get more points and you get housing quicker. And you don't get the job centre making you go to work, hassling you to go to work. When the second you go to work, they make sure that it fucks you up on your rent and you become a bad tenant, so then it takes your tenancy down. So the second, because basically you'll start a job, the council won't pay that ridiculous rent for you, and there'll be a run over period so that you end up owing money to them, and then it goes down as you are a bad tenant and it goes against your claim to get housing. So they make sure that happens to stop people from going to work, and they will advise you to go to the doctor and tell them that you've got mental health problems, and they give you drugs. And a lot of people, they're bored. When I first moved into the YMCA, there's no TV, there's no fucking, they've got no TV points, there's nothing for anyone to do, and yet the majority of drug addiction and things like that is loneliness and boredom. And alcoholism is loneliness and boredom. It's those two things that are the cause of those two things. Alcoholism and drug addiction and depression. So they didn't supply any outlets for anyone to be able to occupy their minds, because then they would have had to pay some, regardless of the £1.8 million they receive in the year, just to house 70 odd fucking people, yeah, and do nothing for you, not a single fucking thing. They don't do fuck all, bar punish your ass and bill you out of your fucking your benefits as well, and dictate and try to get you to behave in certain ways like fucking 2-year-olds. And you have to attend these fucking courses run by an ex-prison guard who'd been rewarded a very well-paid jobs for doing bad shit in the fucking prison service. That's how it works. So if you Freemasonry and doing things for people in jobs that you're not meant to do, you then get rewarded in nice contracts or a job somewhere else. That's how they do the payment. So you get rewarded. So she's no longer has to work in a prison. She just goes around doing courses at fucking hostels, sticking marshmallows on sticks. You know, you got alcoholics, drug addicts, and fucking that. They don't offer help for that. What they do is they teach life skills, but they make you go on them because it's council owned, and the council dictate that you have to, if you attend these courses, they then give you more points to get out of the hostel system that they're holding you in. So it's one big fucking scam. And the fucking council telling me that I've got no fucking links to fucking Luton. Now, I've written about this. If you haven't fucking seen it, I've lived in fucking Luton for fucking 7 years. However many years. Fucking, the only time I moved to New Zealand for fucking a year. Then I fucking lived in Barton for fucking 4 or 5 years. And I've lived in fucking Flitwick for a year. Yeah, so I'd lived in Luton for over 30 odd years. My son was living in Luton at the time that I still had full custody of. Yeah, and the only reason I had to go fucking 9 miles down the road was because my son was on a fucking, to keep my son in his school, and he was on a child protection order from his mum. So I get punished, and they're telling me I've got no ties to the fucking town when I've lived here my whole life, pretty much. 9 miles down the road is still fucking Luton, pretty much, where all our families were. And I'm in a building full of fucking immigrants from all over the world who are getting housing by the council, who are telling me that I've got no ties to my own fucking town. People who've never paid tax. Not immigrants that are in need of anything. Well-off immigrants that are just playing systems. Most of the immigrants, and I want to get this out now, are not refugees. They're rich or being rewarded for things in other countries that they're not meant to do. So immigration isn't, what is in the media is bullshit. Yeah? And what you have are con artists that the system is designed for to get into the country. And they are given housing over indigenous from the town but by the rulers. So where's this again? That's racism against indigenous people. Discrimination against indigenous people by apparently the people that are cruel to everyone around the world, and apparently I'm white privileged. Now, it makes me laugh because fucking apparently the films that everyone in this, because this is how wacko people are. We actually lived in worse conditions than you're being shown in America as ghetto, yeah? And people think, and they call that ghetto while we were living in worse conditions. Fucking hell. And the comedy was in Boys in the Hood was that they had they've still got the fucking plastic on the settee to protect the settee. Where I lived, we were sitting on I had to put towels and fucking blankets double up to stop springs coming through and literally stabbing you and fucking bringing blood out your fucking arse. We were living in house. Some of us were we're living in fucking houses. You had 50p meters that you busted up and fucking putting money in to get fucking your lecky on. We even had fucking money TVs. You've got to put fucking 50p. You got to pay TVs. You got rent. You're renting everything off fucking people because no one can afford to fucking live. You're living like fucking tramps. And then people start talking about that film and the poor hardship of black Americans and that while they're living in much worse fucking conditions. And that was black people as well. It's wacko. Well, man, they suffer, fuck that. We live worse. It's worse here. The conditions here are worse a lot round the world. People didn't live like we were lived over here. And people forget, fucking hell, the council was staying there, and you get all these young kids that fucking rap and talk shit about poverty and fucking shit. Years ago, a fucking council estate was a fucking council estate. There was fucking burnt out fucking cars everywhere. And if they weren't burnt out, people just had fucking cars on their gardens because they were fixing them or fucking they'd found them because people would hoard and see that, one day I might get that working. And they was just cars fucking everywhere, shit everywhere, rubbish everywhere, graffiti everywhere, and cunts everywhere. It was quite dangerous if you didn't know the right people. The fucking flats were fucking, the lifts in the flat, it was piss. It was just the whole fucking flat stunk of piss in the high rise. It was the piss. Fucking rotten piss. You know what I mean? And shit and gunk and fucking needles and fucking shit everywhere. Yet the people that were there were watching films and talking about fucking shit elsewhere like it was poor, when it was poorer here. You're poorer in England. The poor in England would have fucking been kept fucking poor, proper poor. And that's what you got fucking listening. And then you got fucking people that never lived that talking shit and repeating that shit like they live in a fucking America living here. It's a lot more white people, lived on council estates, than any other fucking race. Now, that doesn't get publicised. That's not a fucking thing. That's not oppression. That's privileged. You should be privileged that your old fucking, you know what I mean? The parents have been monged out. The parents were fucking shocking. Most kids, as when we were kids, we did what we wanted. Most of us were drinking all the time. On a regular basis, drinking on a regular basis from fucking 11 up. You know? And taking other drugs by fucking... Well, I took speed, I think I was 12. So, you know, I'm a regular on the rave scene at 15. Regular every rave that was going, I was there. You know what I mean? So, our exams, this fucking, about 20 of us were in the fucking exams. I remember one exam, it was fucking Monday morning after Exodus, and we were all on the fucking desk looking up. So you know, it was targeted young. We were like fucking Bugsy Malone, like little gangsters, because I want to get into this actually. Now, we were programmed, the kids nowadays are programmed, because they watch it all the time, but they watch a million different bits of gunk, and that has made them dull, and they are just occupied by that. In the 80s, when we were growing up, where I was growing up, you know, you didn't have videos. I think I got a video player when I was about fucking 8 or 9, I think we got a video, maybe 10, and fucking, you know, I'd have to go and borrow a video off of someone, and loads of people would have said, you know, you don't have a lot of videos, you had fucking 2 or 3 films. So you watch them, and you'd watch them again, and watch them again, and watch them again, and watch them again, and everybody knew, I knew all the words to all the fucking films, yeah? And they programmed us more than them. They programmed us to be fucking gangsters, to be fucking, you know, wanting to fight. You know, they programmed us proper because we were shown the same fucking things over and over and over and over and over again. Now they're just shown a million different fucking bits of fucking gunk. We were like gangsters walking around, everyone stabbing everyone at child age. Never mind all that shit over there. Here, people were stabbing each other at child age, robbing everyone at child age, 10, 11. Loads of time I walked around with batteries. Loads of people I knew had batteries in socks because we couldn't get the fucking pool balls. Yeah? Programmed to fuck, to become the original drug dealers, the original fucking the ravers. We were worse than the younger generation, the second generation, the first original ravers grew out of it very quickly. Yeah, but the younger one, my age group, although I went, a lot of people didn't, and it was their older brothers and everything, so they got the flyers, they've got the tapes, they want to get to the raves. It took over their lives. And that generation were the ones that got hit with the fucking cocaine because their party lifestyle, and because they'd seen all the older lot hit with fucking the crack and heroin and shit. Because I am going to start going into the drugs quite big soon. Now, where I lived as a fucking, where I grew up as a kid, not Links Way, but I hung around Rumfold in my later years more than I was at Links Way, and ultimately that whole fucking estate got fucking decimated in a few years, because it started all lovey-dovey. Everyone was all Exodus fucking, because we were the Rumfold army, and we would copying them, holding raves in fucking houses, and fucking, we had one in Hasmana, and then fucking in a few houses in the pavilion in fucking Lancaster Park. We broke into the pavilion and had to set the decks and everything up in there. So we're copying. We were, you know, ultimately it was all joy, all fun, the big rave thing, and it was good. People were drinking, but ultimately it weren't that bad. Then, fucking hell, give it fucking 4 years. 4 years later, Rumfold was a different place. A lot of the fucking old ravers are now walking around, missing teeth, looking bad, into cunts. Geezers, and geezers that, you know, were geezers as well, because I'm going to get into the plight of geezers, because there was loads. You see one geezer fucking one week, funny as fuck, running around, laughing, joking, pulling women at the rate, you know, comical, great to be around. Fucking hell. See the same fucking person fucking a year later, and he's got no fucking teeth, his fucking eyes are like that, and he's, you know, he's quite aggressive, because he's because that's what they become, because they need money for fucking drugs, and all they care about then is fucking drugs. Yeah, it was drastic, fucking drastic. But the second the kids that grew up through the rave scene with the fucking flyers, and it became literally, it was their life as babies, not as young adults. They became the ravers that then just fucking turned into party animals for the rest of their fucking lives viciously, and fucking, you know, and they were the ones. And then, but then the older lot then went on. Cocaine affected everyone in the fucking pubs, actually. Cocaine, because cocaine was marketed as fucking high class and fucking, you know, so a lot of the rich fuckers would do cocaine thinking they're all fucking la-di-da, you know what I mean, when ultimately cocaine is fucking, it's disgusting, no different from a fucking crackhead, you know what I mean, it's no different from a fucking cokehead and a crackhead ultimately. And I was at the top spectrum of fucking cocaine addict at one stage. Yeah, then it was a battle for a number of years, so I'd limit it, and it would end up being one blowout every few weeks, but the blowout would be massive, and then it would go to like one or fucking two again a week. Then you've got to fucking get yourself fit again, so it was pumping iron, doing all these things. So exercise, you know, ultimately is good for people, regardless of what I say. Exercise was what got me out of a lot of times, got me better, got some money in my account, got me all garmed up again and back out again. But then what happens is you go back out again, and then you fucking stumble straight back into a fucking cycle where you go back into your house and become a lonely, fucking disgusting little fucking drug addict. And that's what it does to fucking people. But I'm slightly fucking lost what I was fucking saying then, so I might as well just fucking call it a day, I think. But because that's enough fucking waffle, and I'm about to fucking run out of time, and I'll go over it, and if there's anything I need to fucking address, I'll go over it again.